Investment pitch for Armorigos. Slide 1, opening, the light stim, and a holographic projection of a humanoid robot navigating seamlessly through a crowded Madripoor street appears on the screen. Dr. Mordrix Sinistrix steps forward, clad in a sharp suit with a faintly ominous metallic sheen. Dr. Mordrix Sinistrix. Greetings, esteemed investors, visionaries, and future partners in technological domination, innovation. Welcome to ArchVN Robotics, where we don't just build robots, we create the future. I'm Dr. Mordrix Sinistrix, your humble guide to a world where collisions are no longer calamities but relics of an inefficient past. Today, we're here to talk about Armorigos, a groundbreaking advancement in egocentric perception for humanoid robots. And yes, we know egocentric is usually reserved for self-absorbed billionaires or certain tech brothers, but in our case, it's about putting the robot in the center of its own world. Why? Because that's where it belongs when it's avoiding obstacles like a champion in a Madripoor street race. Armorigos isn't just a product, it's a paradigm shift. Think of it as the Veritech cyclone of robotics, a sleek, adaptable, and terrifyingly efficient. You're not just investing in technology, you're investing in a revolution. Pauses for dramatic effect as the holographic robot transforms into an animation of its inner workings. Slide 2, the problem. The screen transitions to a diagram of clunky, outdated robots colliding into walls and tripping over obstacles, accompanied by a comedic bonk sound effect. Mordrix smirks. Humanoid robots, so our supposed future overlord, sir, have a problem. They're clumsy. They walk into walls like interns at their first Madripoor Tech Expo after too many energy drinks. The issue? Occlusion-laden perception systems and centralized cameras that miss the forest for the tree, sir, or in this case, the pedestrian for the lamppost. Current solutions rely on centralized cameras that have all the grace of a drunk surveillance drone or tactile sensors that are as scalable as a weekend yacht party in Madripoor's harbor. They're expensive, inefficient, and frankly, they're embarrassing us in front of the machines. Here's the cold, hard truth. The robotics market demands precision and safety at scale. But the status quo isn't cutting it. Centralized systems are blind to the very environments they're supposed to master, and the cost of failure? Well, let's just say it's more than a few scratched paint jobs. Points to the slide, which now displays stats: 63.7% reduction in collisions, 78.7% improvement in success rates. Enter Armorigos, our distributed, low-cost, low-power solution. We've mounted time-of-flight, TOF, LiDAR sensors on the arms and hands of humanoid robots, providing near-occlusion-free spatial perception. Think of it as giving robots 360-degree vision, minus the awkward Google Glass vibe. And let's talk scalability. Armorigos doesn't just save money, it saves face here, quite literally, when robots navigate complex environments without turning into viral fails. The audience chuckles as a robot on the screen dodges obstacles with ninja-like precision. Investors, the problem is clear. The solution is Armorigos. And the opportunity? Well, that's a $37 million facility at 970 Armorigos VR 038 Avenue, Madripoor, poised to become the epicenter of humanoid robotics. With a net operating income of $3.7 million, a cash-on-cash return of 9.5%, and an IRR of 8.8%, this isn't just a smart investment, it's a no-brainer. Leaning in, with a devilish grin. Now, who's ready to join the revolution? Or would you rather keep watching humanoid robots bump into walls on the internet? The crowd applauds as the lights brighten and the slide transitions to a sleek image of the Armorigos logo. Page 2. Speech for slide 3 and 4, raising series of funding in Madripoor. The audience hums with anticipation as Dr. Mordrix Sinistrix steps onto the stage, his charismatic smile ready to command attention. He adjusts his microphone, the room quiets, and the first slide flickers to life. Slide 3, the solution, ladies and gentlemen, innovators, and those lucky enough to be early movers, so thank you for being here today. I have a question for you. How many times have you seen a robot trying to navigate through a crowded space and thought, well, that's a disaster waiting to happen? The clumsy turns, the awkward jerks, the fact that it seems to be trying to navigate like it's in a bumper car arena? Laughter fills the room. Let's face it, we've all been there. Robots, especially humanoid ones, often have about as much grace as a toddler learning to walk. But we're here to change all that with Armorigos, the solution that's more agile than your average Olympian and smarter than the average CEO in a crisis. Armorigos is no ordinary robotic system. It's a distributed, low-power time-of-flight, TOF, LiDAR system. Think of it as the sixth sense of robotics. No longer will robots fumble and trip over their own perceptions. With Armorigos, every movement is calculated, every step deliberate. It's like if you took Jackie Chan's reflexes, mixed them with the precision of a Swiss watch, and then handed it over to a robot to faster, smarter, and cooler. Now imagine a world where robots don't just navigate blindly, bumping into things like an out-of-control shopping cart. No, number. Amerigo's creates an almost perfect field of vision like a superhuman radar system allowing robots to navigate near occlusion-free, understanding their surroundings in real time. Whether it's dodging a stack of falling crates or guiding you through a labyrinthine warehouse, these robots won't just move you, they'll dance through the chaos. A slide appears showing a robot avoiding falling boxes, gliding smoothly through an obstacle course. The room chuckles at the precision, and the true beauty of it all? The Amerigo's policy. This is where the magic happens, our imitation learning framework that teaches these robots to think like us, move like us, and avoid disasters like the pros we are. Whether it's for industrial applications or even just a robot helping you get your coffee without spilling it, Amerigo's ensures that every move is faster, safer, and incredibly precise. This is not just robotics, it's art in motion. The crowd claps slightly, intrigued by the potential. Slide 4, the technology now. Let's get into the wizardry behind this. What makes Amerigo's so special? A pause for dramatic effect. At its core, it's a highly sophisticated system of sparse-off sensors strategically placed on the humanoid robot's arms and hands. This isn't just your standard, everyday sensor array. Oh number. These sensors analyze, decide, and react with the kind of precision you would expect from a world-class chess player, but instead of predicting moves on a board, they're dodging obstacles, rerouting paths, and keeping your precious cargo safe. Laughter echoes, the audience beginning to visualize the potential, and here's where things get really interesting. Let me introduce the VR038 Cyclone, our secret weapon that takes Amerigo's to the next level. This isn't just a fancy drone, this is the ultimate tactical companion. Think of it as a flying extension of the humanoid robot. Equipped with ultralight DOF arrays and AI-powered navigation, the Cyclone serves as the eyes and ears from above, providing situational awareness and real-time insights. While our humanoid robots are mastering the ground game, the Cyclone is soaring overhead, spotting dangers, and relaying information back to its partner below. This creates an ecosystem of robotic synergy where both land and air meet seamlessly to optimize performance. It's like a tactical robot-human dream team. A clip rolls showing the Cyclone flying over a crowded city square, mapping the environment and effortlessly coordinating with a humanoid robot to assist a person in distress. And let's not forget the training. 86 hours of human-like motion data and 50 hours of synchronized drone-robot collaboration. That's like our own boot camp, where we've painstakingly crafted every move, every decision, to ensure that our robots don't just move, they move together with unmatched precision. Laughter and applause, as the audience appreciates the intense effort behind the technology. Now, what does all this mean in the real world? It means that in a busy factory, the Cyclone can spot an issue 30 meters ahead and guide the humanoid robot to take a safer, more efficient path. It means that in a crowded shopping mall, a stroller approaching at speed won't catch our robots off guard. Instead, they'll adjust gracefully, avoiding the collision with the agility of a professional dancer. This isn't about avoiding accidents, it's about creating trust. And when people trust these robots, when they stop seeing them as machines and start seeing them as partners, that's when we know we've succeeded. The future isn't just robots, it's robot-human collaboration, and we're leading the charge. The slide transitions to a split screen. On one side, a traditional robot stumbles awkwardly, on the other, an Amerigo's enabled system glides effortlessly around obstacles. Ladies and gentlemen, Amerigo's and the VR038 Cyclone aren't just tools, they're a revolution. With your investment, we're not just building better robots, we're creating a world where technology doesn't just serve use, it works with us. Together, we'll make a future where robots aren't clunky machines, they're our partners, guiding us through an increasingly complex world. Dr. Sinistrix pauses, letting the words sink in. He smiles, locks eyes with the audience, and raises his glass in a gesture of invitation. So, who's ready to move into the future with us? The future isn't just brighter, it's Amerigo's powered. Let's take the leap together. The room erupts in applause, as Dr. Sinistrix exits the stage, leaving the audience buzzing with excitement about the future of robotics and technology. Page 3. Speech for slide 5 and 6, raising series of funding in Madripoor. The lights dim slightly as Dr. Sinistrix, with his trademark gleam of confidence, steps forward to address the room. He surveys the crowd, a few investors already leaning forward with interest. He smiles, letting the tension build before diving into his pitch. Slide 5, market potential. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed investors, and future partners in innovation, if I can borrow an old saying, the future is now. But let's talk about the future, and I mean big future. A really big future, or we're talking robotics and artificial intelligence, where the market is set to explode like a rocket off a launch pad, straight into a $200 billion valuation by 2030. Dr. Sinistrix pauses, letting the number sink in. The audience seems intrigued, awaiting the follow-up. Now, with such an enormous wave on the horizon, the question becomes, how do we catch it? How do we ride it to the front of the pack? He takes a step closer to the audience, almost whispering the next line for effect. Armor egos is the answer. We're not just riding the wave, we are the wave. Whether it's the automation revolution in manufacturing, cutting-edge healthcare robotics, or the ever-growing defense sector, we've crafted a solution that's built to dominate across industries. He gestures to the screen where the slide shows key market sectors. Take automation. Robots handling tasks from assembly lines to last-mile deliveries are no longer a distant dream. But here's the catcher: most of them still bump into things. They trip, they stumble, they're like the kid who has no rhythm at prom. But with Armor Egos, we're setting the gold standard for robotics in motion planning and perception. When we say we're eliminating those oops moments, we mean it. Think seamless, fluid movements. We're talking about robots that glide through factory floors, rather than crashing into them. A smirk crosses his face as he leans slightly forward, and let's talk healthcare. The demand for surgical robots, telepresence devices, and assistive robots for the elderly is skyrocketing. Yet, how many of you have seen a hospital robot, full of gears and wires, basically giving you the impression that it's going to accidentally slice your coffee instead of your appendix? He pauses for laughter before continuing. With Armor Egos, we're bringing precision and intelligence to every action, making robotic assistants not only safer but more human-like in their capabilities. And then there's DSCR. Autonomous systems are not just machines, they're strategic assets in the battlefield, capable of navigating and making real-time decisions faster than any human could. From reconnaissance drones to logistical support, the integration of Armor Egos with systems like the VR038 Cyclone ensures we're ahead of the curve, and I don't mean just a slightly ahead, I mean light years. He steps back, allowing the magnitude of the statement to land. By the time we hit 2030, robotics will be everywhere. From the delivery of your groceries to emergency response units, we will be embedded in the very fabric of society, making lives easier, safer, and more efficient. Armor Egos won't just be a part of this revolution, it will be leading it. And with your investment today, we will be the ones driving the change. Slide 6, Competitive Edge. The room is still, the audience now on the edge of their seats. Dr. Sinistrix's smile grows wider, his tone dripping with confidence. Now, you may be thinking, alright, Dr. Sinistrix, but what sets Armor Egos apart? Isn't there already a sea of robotic technologies vying for attention? He laughs knowingly, waving a hand as though dismissing the competition. Well, sure, there are other systems out there, but let's be clear, Armor Egos isn't just another contender. It's the heavyweight champion of the robotics world. And I'm about to drop some numbers on you that'll make it crystal clear. He points to the screen, and the slide highlights key figures. First off, a collision avoidance. Armor Egos reduces collisions by a staggering 63.7%. Let's be real for a second. Have you ever seen a robot walking around, suddenly jerking away like a person who stepped on a Lego? That's because traditional systems can't think fast enough or accurately enough. With Armor Egos, we're practically rewriting the rules of spatial awareness in robots. They move like they see the world, not like they're guessing what's ahead. The audience is nodding along now, impressed. He continues, his voice getting more animated, and then there's the computational efficiency, 26 times better than the competition. That's right, 26 times. And why does that matter? Simple. Speed. Accuracy. Less power consumption. Less heat. More time on the job site, less time charging. And all this while maintaining near-human decision-making capabilities. We're not just in the race, we're miles ahead. He chuckles, as though to himself, before delivering the punchline. And speaking of being ahead, let's talk about integration. Armor Egos doesn't just talk to the GR1 humanoid robot, it becomes part of it. Our seamless integration means that you don't need to waste time with incompatible systems or long-winded configuration periods. From factory floors to complex warehouses, this is plug-and-play robotics at its finest. Dr. Sinistrix points directly at the audience, making a connection with each person. And let's be clear, a DoomSense and other exocentric sensor setups may have a decent offering, but let me tell you, they don't even come close to the level of finesse and precision we've engineered here. They may be big on paper, but we're big on results. Armor Egos and the VR038 Cyclone integration are simply in a class of their own. Not only do we avoid obstacles more efficiently, but we also make every move purposeful and intelligent. He pauses, scanning the room, and then delivers the closing line with full conviction. In short, the competition has a lot of catching up to do, and I've got a front row seat for the show. So, let's make sure that we, together, are the ones writing this next chapter in robotics history. What do you say? The room bursts into applause as Dr. Sinistrix steps back, his grin widening with pride. End of slide 6, page 4. The crowd quiets as Dr. Mordrix Sinistrix steps to the center of the stage, his demeanor confident yet inviting. He surveys the investors gathered in the room, ensuring that every eye is on him before he begins. Slide 7, Financials, and ask. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that at this point, You're asking yourself, hey Dr. Sinistrix, all these exciting ideas, all this tech, how do we turn this into cold, hard cash? He gives a sly grin, leaning forward slightly. Well, it's not rocket science here, it's just better than rocket science. And I'm here today to offer you an opportunity to get in at the ground level of something truly revolutionary. Armor Egos isn't just a concept, it's already a tangible, ready-to-scale innovation that will dominate the next wave of robotics. Dr. Sinistrix gestures to the screen, where the funding request details are clearly displayed. To do this, we seek $15 million in series of funding. Before you start thinking, is this the right investment for me? Let me make it simple for you. These funds are not just going into a black hole. This is strategic, calculated, laser-focused investment with clear, actionable goals. He holds up a finger, as though to emphasize a key point. First, the advanced RD. This isn't about ideas, we're talking about creating robust configurations that can be deployed at scale. Every penny you invest will contribute to improving the technology's resilience, enhancing its motion planning algorithms, and ensuring that we remain at the forefront of performance. A knowing smile spreads across his face. Second, we'll scale the manufacturing and deployment of Armor Egos itself. It's time to move from prototype to production, and I don't mean just making a few models for demonstration purposes. We're talking about getting this to the production lines, rolling it out across industries, and making sure the world sees how far ahead we are of the competition. He raises his eyebrows, letting the audience imagine the scale of the opportunity, and finally, market expansion. We'll be targeting not just one sector but multiple strategic industries, from healthcare to defense to automation. This is the kind of wide-reaching, high-impact technology that will capture attention everywhere. Dr. Sinistrix leans in, his voice lowering to a conspiratorial whisper as he speaks directly to the room. $15 million sounds like a lot, but let me tell you this, what we're asking for will turn into multiples of that when we hit full scale. This is the kind of investment that sets you up not just for success but for dominance. Because, in case you missed it, we're not aiming for a slice of the pie. We're planning to own the bakery. He lets that sink in, then steps back and takes a moment before moving to the next slide. Slide 8, Vision. Now, let's talk about the long game. The big picture. Armor Egos isn't just about robots that can walk and talk and handle tasks for you. No, number. We're talking about something far more ambitious. His voice takes on a passionate tone, his gestures growing more animated. Our vision goes far beyond the humanoid robots you see today. In fact, we're not just thinking about the here and now, we're rethinking the very concept of automation as a whole. This isn't just about improving efficiency in factories or building smarter surgical robots. No, we're talking about redefining what robots can do. The scope of Armor Egos is vast, it's adaptable, it's flexible, and it's ready to be integrated into every facet of life, work, and beyond. He pauses, a knowing smile on his face. Now, I know what you're thinking, everyone talks big. Everyone has a vision. But here's where we set ourselves apart. We're not just looking at how we can improve automation. We're looking at why it needs to improve. And we're asking the hard questions. How do we make robots safer? How do we make them more intuitive? How do we ensure that when Armor Egos is deployed, it's not just efficient but life-changing? His voice softens, becoming more reflective. Imagine a world where the robots don't need constant supervision. Where Armor Egos can operate in complex, dynamic environments, making real-time decisions that ensure safety, adaptability, and ultimate efficiency. Think about how our healthcare systems would transform with autonomous medical assistants that learn and adapt in real time. Picture logistics and defense systems that move in perfect harmony, without ever needing to stop for a breather. Dr. Sinistrix smiles, letting the room imagine this future. Let me ask you, how many times have you thought, if only we had something smarter, something safer, something more adaptable than what we have today? Well, this is that moment. Armor Egos is that answer. He turns to the screen, then back to the investors, his tone rising with conviction. And the best part? This is just the beginning. Armor Egos is the next step in a new era of automation, one that will redefine industries and drive growth in ways you haven't even begun to imagine. We're not just building robots. We're shaping the future. And that future is right now. Dr. Sinistrix pauses for effect, his gaze sweeping across the room, locking eyes with investors who are now fully engaged. Do you want to be a part of that future? Then let's make this happen. Together. The crowd erupts into applause as he steps back, his confidence undeniable. End of slide 8, page 5a. Speech for series of funding pitch, the future of robotics, Armor Egos and of the RO38 Veritech Cyclone. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed venture capitalists, and future champions of tomorrow's technology, let me start by asking you all a question. How many of you have ever wanted to see a motorcycle transform into a battle-ready humanoid robot? Maybe not in your everyday work, but who's ever truly been satisfied with just a motorcycle or just a robot when he could have both supercharged and ready for action? Well, let me introduce you to the kind of vision that is about to change the future of robotics forever, the VR038 Varitech Cyclone and its powerful counterpart in the world of human-robot interaction, Amerigos. Now, before you get too comfortable, let me assure you that I'm not just here to talk about science fiction. I'm talking about a technology that is closer to reality than you may think. I know at first, you might think, isn't this a bit of a stretch? A robot motorcycle combo from a cartoon series? But, the truth is, what once seemed like fantasy has now evolved into a tangible opportunity in the world of cutting-edge robotics. And no one, especially us here in Madripoor, is better suited to fund and shepherd such an opportunity into the future. 1. Product viability and market fit. Let's talk about the most important thing first, product viability and market fit. When it comes to investing in startups, you need to see the X factor, or the thing that makes your product leap off the page. And Amerigos is exactly that. This innovative egocentric perception system is revolutionary. Why? Because, like the Varitech Cyclone itself, it transforms the game entirely. We're talking about a humanoid robot that can move with fluid, dynamic precision through the most cluttered environments, reducing collisions by a staggering 63.7% and increasing the success rate of its tasks by 78.7%. This is no longer a sci-fi dream, it's a robust, real-world technology ready for deployment in military, industrial, and even consumer markets. But we need to ask ourselves, what makes Amerigos stand apart from existing humanoid robotics? The unique selling proposition, USP, is simple. Amerigos eliminates one of the most significant problems in robotics today, occlusion. With traditional sensors, the moment a robot raises an arm or moves through a cluttered space, it loses its spatial awareness. But Amerigos uses distributed, low-cost, low-power ToF LiDAR sensors mounted on the arms and hands. These sensors cover those problematic areas where traditional systems fall short, giving this tech a huge advantage in terms of accuracy, efficiency, and adaptability. Who's the customer? Let's take a moment and think about this. Imagine a military operation where real-time, dynamic movement through hostile, crowded environments is essential. Or think of advanced robotics deployed in industrial settings where collision avoidance isn't just an enhancement but a necessity. Amerigos isn't just for now, it's designed to scale across various sectors, from autonomous vehicles to drones, and the applications just keep multiplying. So, this isn't just a niche market, this is the future of multifunctional robotics. 2. Technology and innovation. Alright, let's get technical now. Our technology and innovation. We're in Madripoor, the land of the bold, the brave, and the visionary. And in that spirit, the Amerigos system has been rigorously tested in real-world environments. And when I say real-world, I mean extreme conditions where failure is not an option. This system doesn't just work, it outperforms traditional systems in collision avoidance and success rates, as evidenced by an impressive 31.6% fewer collisions and 16.9% higher success rates when compared to conventional sampling-based planners. But we must ask the tough questions: how robust is this tech? Have we truly tested it under unpredictable and, let's be honest, sometimes hostile conditions? Yes, we have. The GR1 humanoid robots have successfully demonstrated this system in chaotic real-world scenarios, showing that Amerigos can handle even the toughest of tasks. In fact, we've pushed it to its limits, and it passed the test. Now, are there challenges? Of course, there are. Every innovation faces roadblocks. The current hardware, while impressive, still faces limitations when it comes to battery life, sensor range, and data processing speed. But we're on top of it. The strategy for addressing these challenges includes expanding the sensor configurations and enhancing the AI and machine learning capabilities that drive the perception and planning systems. We're making this tech smarter and more efficient with each passing day. What's next? Amerigos will continue to evolve, with AI, ML advancements pushing the envelope in making the system more adaptable, more intuitive, and even more powerful. We're not just standing still, we're driving innovation forward. 3. Scalable and future-proof. And let's talk scalability here, because this is where the money is. Is Amerigos just a humanoid robot system? Absolutely not. The technology powering this system is adaptable across industries. So, whether it's autonomous vehicles needing obstacle avoidance or drones operating in cluttered airspaces, Amerigos is the blueprint for the future. This isn't a small-scale operation. It's a global, scalable solution ready for the next frontier in robotics. Wrapping it up with some cyclone magic. Before I wrap up this pitch, let me remind you of the Varitech Cyclone, that glorious, transforming piece of technology from Robotech. The VR038 Cyclone is the epitome of versatility, maneuverability, and power. Much like our Amerigos, the Cyclone can transform, adapt, and take on any challenge thrown its way. Whether it's roaring down highways at 220 kph or charging into battle as a battloid in its humanoid form, the Cyclone embodies the essence of what we're doing here. We're creating something that's not just a novelty, we're creating the foundation for the future of human-robot interaction, enhanced mobility, and dynamic solutions for a world in constant need of innovation. In the world of private equity, we have the privilege of making the decisions that can change the course of history. And today, I'm asking you to join us on this mission to transform the robotics industry. With your support, we'll not only fund innovation, we'll accelerate it. Because in a world that's increasingly driven by technology, only those who dare to dream big will lead the way. And, ladies and gentlemen, this is our time. Thank you. Now, let's talk about turning that series A check into the reality. Page 5b. Speech for series A funding, competitive advantage and business model. The lights dim again as the hologram of a humanoid robot weaves effortlessly through Madripoor's bustling streets, narrowly avoiding a flying food cart. Dr. Mordrick Sinistrix steps into the spotlight, arms outstretched, exuding confidence and a dash of calculated mischief. Dr. Mordrick Sinistrix. Distinguished investors, visionaries of the future, and those of you who accidentally walked in from the Madripoor Bazaar, welcome back to the tale of our Egos. Our technology doesn't just fit into the future, it shapes it. Now, let's address the why us? And the how we'll all become fabulously wealthy questions. Competitive advantage, outpacing the competition. When it comes to competition, we don't just play to win, we redefine the game board. Our Egos obliterates traditional solutions like exocentric camera systems or centralized sensors with a threefold approach: enhanced spatial awareness. Exocentric camera systems rely on fixed vantage points that are as limited as a traffic camera trying to manage Madripoor's hover tram chaos. Our Egos, however, offers decentralized sensor integration that turns every surface and limb into a perceptive powerhouse. Dynamic intelligence, where centralized sensors often falter in real-time processing, Our Egos utilizes advanced distributed neural policies. Think of it as having the situational awareness of 1,000 chess grandmasters on a caffeine binge calculated in milliseconds. But let's talk numbers. Traditional systems might save you a few credits up front, but their maintenance, lack of adaptability, and operational inefficiencies lead to long-term expenses that pile up faster than Madripoor's parking fines. Our Egos? Lower lifetime costs, scalable upgrades, and no awkward downtime for recalibration. Pricing model, competitive cost, premium results. Our pricing model is as sharp as our technology, base hardware, sold at a competitive price point, ensuring accessibility for startups and established manufacturers alike. Software subscriptions, regular updates ensure optimal performance, and clients get ongoing access to our ever-evolving AI. Licensing options, for OEMs and industries wanting to integrate our tech into their existing ecosystems. Barriers to entry, copycats need not apply for those worried about imitators. Allow me to reassure you, our moat is not just deep, it's electrified. Patents, Our Egos is protected by over a dozen patents, with more in the pipeline. These cover everything from adaptive sensor fusion to proprietary neural processing methods. Talent, our team includes some of the brightest minds from robotics, AI, and let's face it, our mad science. We don't just have a technology, we have a brain trust. First mover advantage, the relationships we've established with key industries give us a significant head start, ensuring that by the time competitors arrive, they'll be playing catch-up in an upgraded world. Business model, the road to recurring revenue. Now, let's talk about turning this technological marvel into a golden goose. Our revenue model ensures sustainable, scalable growth. Initial product sales, high-tech doesn't mean inaccessible. Our entry point pricing ensures adoption across military, industrial, and even high-end consumer sectors. Recurring revenue streams, software as a service, SaaS, clients subscribe for regular updates, advanced algorithms, and performance enhancements. Predictive maintenance, using Our Egos self-diagnostic features, we offer subscription-based maintenance that predicts and prevents issues before they arise. Licensing opportunities, beyond direct sales, we offer licensing agreements for third-party integration. Imagine Our Egos powered drones, autonomous vehicles, and even retail robots navigating Madripoor's labyrinthine streets with grace. Partnerships, building the ecosystem. We don't just want customers, we want allies. Here's how we're already building momentum. Strategic alliances, collaborations with leading robotics manufacturers and defense contractors are underway. Yes, the Madripoor military has shown interest because nothing says peace like a robot that can dodge bullets. Industry integration, Our Egos is not just a product, it's a platform. Our open APIs allow developers to create custom applications, ensuring adaptability across industries. Beyond the initial sale, here's where things get exciting: cross-industry potential. Imagine Our Egos guiding autonomous vehicles, managing warehouse robotics, or even enhancing our VR experiences. The applications are as limitless as Madripoor's black market. Ecosystem development, by positioning Our Egos as the foundational tech for robotics, we establish a network effect that ensures long-term dominance. Dr. Sinistrix pauses, gesturing dramatically as a hologram displays a robot deftly rescuing a stray cat from Madripoor's treacherous rooftops. Ladies and gentlemen, Amerigo's is not just a product, it's a paradigm shift. With your investment, we will redefine robotics, reshape industries, and dare I say rule the world. And by rule, I mean generate unparalleled ROI. Let's make history together. Let's make profits together. And above all, let's make sure no robot, cat, or flying food cart is left behind. Thank you. Thunderous applause erupts as the hologram transitions to an image of investors shaking hands with a robot. 5C. Speech for raising series of funding for Amerigo's VR038 platform. Light stim, and a hologram of the VR038 Cyclone transitioning seamlessly from motorcycle to Batloid mode plays on screen. Dr. Mordrick Sinistrix steps forward, exuding charisma with a hint of mad scientist energy. Dr. Mordrick Sinistrix. Esteemed investors, visionaries of Madripoor, and seekers of high returns on groundbreaking technology, thank you for joining me today at 970 Amerigo's VR038 Avenue, the address where the future of robotics is being engineered. Let's get to the nitty-gritty, numbers, projections, and a squadron of geniuses making it all happen. Spoiler alert to its impressive financials and investment requirements. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dr. Sinistrix, we've seen transforming mecha before, or how is this different? And more importantly, how will this fatten my portfolio? Let's dive into the numbers. Financial projections. Over the next 3 years, we anticipate revenue growth of 40% annually, driven by the demand for defense, logistics, and personal mobility solutions. By year 5, we project revenue at $120 million, with profit margins exceeding 25% as economies of scale kick in. Capital allocation. Of the $37 million series A, we're raising RD 35% to fine-tune the Cyclone's Harris CT-12 targeting system and enhance AI for urban combat scenarios. Manufacturing, 25% to scale production and reduce per unit costs, targeting a price point 15% below current market alternatives. Marketing, 20% to deploy an aggressive campaign, positioning the VR038 as the must-have tech for defense contractors, law enforcement, and adventure enthusiasts alike. Team expansion, 15% for talent acquisition, bringing on board the best and brightest to keep innovation humming. Other, 5% reserved for contingencies because, hey, transforming mecha don't fund themselves. ROI expectations. Based on current projections, investors can expect an 8.8% IRR by year 5, with a net present value of $7.5 million. These figures are backed by meticulous market research, proprietary tech, and enough customer interest to make the Cyclone's 220 kph seem like a crawl. But the by A-diaresist copyright systems? Our operating expense ratio, OR, is a lean 62%, thanks to in-house component development. You won't find margins like that in legacy systems. Team and talent. Now let's talk about the squad behind the Cyclone. Spoiler alert, they're not just the A-team, they're the A-plus team. Key team members. Dr. Mordrick Sinistrix, yours truly, 20 years of robotics innovation, 15 patents under my belt, and a proven track record in scaling tech from garage projects to multi-billion-dollar platforms. Professor Evangeline Talk, lead AI architect with a background at Madripoor's top defense labs. She eats machine learning algorithms for breakfast. Kurt Rocket Ironforge, head of manufacturing, with decades of experience optimizing production lines for top-tier robotics firms. His nickname? Well-earned. Talent acquisition strategy. Madripoor is teaming with untapped engineering talent, and we're building an irresistible ecosystem. Competitive compensation, remote-friendly positions, and a culture that marries creativity with technical rigor. We're already the employer of choice for top talent. Sustaining innovation. Continuous improvement isn't just a buzzword, it's our DNA. Weekly innovation sprints, internal hackathons, and partnerships with Madripoor Tech Institute ensure our team stays ahead of the curve. The Madripoor Edge. The Madripoor environment provides a unique advantage, a hub for technological innovation with a frontier spirit. By leveraging local expertise and global networks, we're positioned to dominate markets well beyond our island nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the VR038 isn't just a product, it's a revolution. Together, we can redefine robotics, transform industries, and, yes, make a very healthy return on your investment. Who's ready to take this ride? Dr. Sinistrix gestures toward the holographic Cyclone, now revving up in motorcycle mode. The audience breaks into applause as the presentation transitions to QA, page 5D. Speech for raising series of funding for Amerigo's VR038 platform. Light stim, and the holographic VR038 Cyclone transforms dramatically from motorcycle to Batloid mode. The sound of revving engines and mechanized clicks fills the room. Dr. Mordrick Sinistrix steps into the spotlight, exuding an air of confident eccentricity. Dr. Mordrick Sinistrix. Ladies and gentlemen, innovators and investors, Madripoor's furnace to welcome. Before we dive in, let me assure you, I'm not here to pitch just another widget or app. No, today we're talking about the future, a motorcycle that moonlights as a Battloid. It's fast, it's powerful, and it's protected tighter than a Madripoor bank vault on tax day. Now, I know you're thinking, Mordric, cool tech, but what's stopping some copycat from rolling out knockoff faster than you can say intellectual property lawsuit? And what's the plan to make sure this isn't just a very expensive Transformer cosplay? Let's get into it. Our questions 7 and 8, buckle up. Intellectual property and protection. First things first, the Cyclone isn't just a marvel of robotechnology, it's a fortress of intellectual property. Patents, patents, patents. We hold 15 active patents, covering everything from the Harris CT12 targeting system's proprietary algorithm to the unique attachment mechanism that connects the Cyclone to CVR3 body armor. Oh, and let's not forget the transformation technology itself. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, folks, we own that magic. Trade secrets. Beyond patents, we've got proprietary manufacturing processes locked down tighter than the Kingpin's vault. Key components of the Cyclone's control system are produced using methods that no competitor can replicate without our playbook. Legal landscape. Now, I know the world of robotics can be litigious, but we're operating in a well-defined, enforceable space. We've done our homework, and our legal team are led by the best IP lawyers in Madripoor. Isn't just reactive, they're proactive. Potential competitors know that messing with the Cyclone is like racing against it, a losing game. So, rest assured, our innovations are as well guarded as they are groundbreaking. Competitors? Let them try, we're ready. Milestones and risk management. But protecting the Cyclone is just one part of the story. Investors like you want to know, what's next? How do we go from transforming motorcycles to transforming the market? Key milestones. Next 18 months, to de-risk your investment, we've outlined 3 critical milestones. Prototype to production transition. By month 6, we'll have the first production-ready units rolling off the line, meeting all performance benchmarks. Initial market penetration. By month 12, we'll secure 5 strategic defense contracts, totaling an estimated $10 million in revenue. Mass adoption pivot. By month 18, we'll launch a consumer-focused model designed for extreme sports and personal security, a whole new market waiting to be conquered. Identified risks and mitigation strategies. Technological risk. Risk, high complexity and scaling production. Solution, we've partnered with Madripoor Robotics Consortium for access to state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities. Market adoption risk. Risk, slow adoption in defense sectors. Solution, our pilot program with Madripoor's Tactical Response Division ensures immediate credibility and real-world validation. Competitive pressure. Risk, aggressive moves from larger players. Solution, our first-to-market advantage, coupled with our robust IP strategy, keeps us ahead. Plus, we're building an innovation pipeline for future generations of the Cyclone. Economic volatility. Risk, funding gaps or unforeseen expenses. Solution, diversified funding streams, including government grants and strategic partnerships, ensure we stay financially nimble. Burn rate and runway. Currently, we're burning $1.2 million per month, giving us a runway of 30 months with series of funding. To stretch this runway without compromising growth, we've implemented lean manufacturing, reducing costs by 15% through optimized supply chains. Revenue generation, early contracts ensure cash inflow from month 9 onward. Strategic spending, focusing funds on high-impact areas, ensuring every dollar accelerates progress. Closing. So, there you have it, the Cyclone isn't just a cutting-edge marvel, it's a strategically protected, financially de-risked, and market-ready juggernaut. It's the future of robotics, innovation, and yes, your portfolios. As we look ahead, let me leave you with this, the Cyclone isn't just transforming itself, it's transforming industries. So, the only question left is, are you ready to transform with us? Dr. Sinistrix smiles as the VR038 Cyclone powers down, leaving the room buzzing with excitement. The floor opens for Q&A. Page 5e. Speech for raising series of funding for Amerigo's VR038 platform. The stage is set with dramatic visuals of the VR038 Cyclone transforming, soaring, and battling in a dynamic holographic display. The audience is captivated. Dr. Mordric Sinistrix strides in, exuding confidence. Dr. Mordric Sinistrix. Distinguished investors, fellow visionaries, and those wondering if we're pitching a motorcycle or a movie franchisee, welcome. Let's clear one thing up right away, we're not selling the Cyclone, we're selling the future. And I promise you, it's coming fast, loud, and decked out with more features than a Madripoor tax shelter. Now, you're here because you see potential and not just in transforming motorcycles, but in transforming industries, markets, and portfolios. So, let's talk about the big questions on your minds. How do you make your money back? And why now? Buckle up, because it's go time. Exit strategy. From Batloid to big bucks first, let's address the exit strategy. Because while the Cyclone is built for combat, our financial strategy is built for success. 3 pathways to pay off going public. Imagine it, our armory goes on the Madripoor Tech Exchange, ticker symbol Cyclone. With our projected revenue growth and market dominance, an IPO would position us as the robotics powerhouse of the decade. Acquisition by industry titans. Defense contractors, robotics giants, and tech firms are already circling. I mean, if I had $1 for every time someone from Global Robotics or Stark Defense whispered, "Let's talk," we wouldn't even need this funding round. Strategic buyers like these see the Cyclone as a game changer, whether for military applications, advanced logistics, or extreme sports, because why not? Strategic partnerships and licensing. Beyond acquisitions, we're exploring lucrative licensing deals. Imagine the Cyclone's tech powering everything from autonomous security drones to next-gen delivery bots. This approach ensures ongoing revenue streams while maintaining control over our core innovations. Interest from potential acquirers. Let's just say that when we demoed the Cyclone to certain government agencies, their response was, "How soon can we buy it, and how many zeros do we add?" Large defense contractors see the Cyclone as a must-have. Robotics firms? They're practically drooling. Timeline for exit. Our series of funding is a launching pad, 18-24 months, establish market dominance. 3-5 years, IPO or acquisition, with a projected valuation north of $1 billion. This round isn't just about funding, it's about positioning you and you for the ultimate win. Market timing and demand, striking while the iron is hot now. Let's talk timing, because success in this game is as much about hitting the gas at the right moment as it is about having the fastest ride. Emerging trends. Defense and security spending. Global defense budgets are rising faster than Madripoor property prices, and the Cyclone fits perfectly into the growing demand for unmanned and semi-autonomous systems. Robotics and automation boom. Industries from logistics to agriculture are embracing automation, and the Cyclone's adaptability makes it a natural fit. Consumer interest in advanced tech. Extreme sports enthusiasts, collectors, and tech aficionados are a prime secondary market. We're not just building robots, we're building icons. Why now? The robotics industry is at an inflection point. The combination of maturing technology, increasing adoption, and growing budgets creates the perfect storm. The Cyclone isn't just riding the wave, it's leading it. Educating the market. Here's how we're ensuring the world knows about Armorigos. Targeted defense marketing. Direct demos for defense agencies and contractors. Let's just say when the Cyclone flies, jaws drop and contracts follow. Consumer awareness campaigns. Partnerships with influencers and extreme sports athletes who can showcase the Cyclone's capabilities in thrilling, viral content. Strategic publicity. Appearances at global robotics expos, high-profile defense summits, and even entertainment showcases. The Cyclone isn't just a product, it's a spectacle. Generating demand. We're not waiting for the market to catch up, we're driving it forward. Early adopters in defense sectors pave the way. Licensing deals expand applications and visibility. A consumer launch in year 2 creates buzz that drives interest across all verticals. The call to action. So, here's the deal, the Armorigos VR038 isn't just a motorcycle. It's not just a Batloid. It's the key to unlocking the future of robotics, the answer to emerging market needs, and your ticket to being part of something truly transformative. The market is ready, the timing is perfect, and the Cyclone? Well, it's not just built to win, it's built to lead. So, who's ready to ride with us? The crowd erupts in applause as the Cyclone hologram strikes a heroic pose. Page 5F. Speech for raising series of funding for Armorigos VR038 platform, Racing Edition. The stage is set with a high-energy video showing the VR038 Cyclone in racing action, transforming mid-race, navigating hairpin turns, and soaring over obstacles. The audience is hooked. Dr. Velocity Strider, an animated and charismatic speaker, takes the stage. Dr. Velocity Strider. Good evening, champions of innovation, adrenaline junkies in suits, and anyone wondering if today's pitch will make you the Elon Musk of racing tech. Spoiler alert, it will. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not just here to talk about the Armorigos VR038 Cyclone. We're here to redefine racing itself. Now, I know you're thinking, this sounds cool, but where's the proof? How do we deploy it, and what happens when society realizes we've essentially built a rocket-powered transformer for sport? Great questions. Let's dive in. Deployment and real-world use cases. Let's start with deployment. Because while it's fun to dream, it's even better to race. Case studies, Cyclones in Action Desert-Rally Championship. The VR038 dominated the harsh terrain of the Madripoor outback, seamlessly transforming between modes to handle sand dunes, rocky trails, and the occasional rampaging wild rhino. Competitors were left eating dust literally. Rainmaker Circuit. Deployed in a high-stakes rainy season race, the Cyclone's Batloid mode saved the day. When others hydroplaned, it transformed, stabilized, and kept going because nothing says win like a robot doing a power slide. Urban Gauntlet Challenge. In a downtown Madripoor race designed to push agility to the limit, the Cyclone's maneuverability through tight alleys and crowded intersections was unmatched. Think of it as Parkour for machines. Deployment challenges and timelines. Now, let's talk about challenges, because if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. Integration into existing racing leagues. Racing bodies are still catching up to the Cyclone's unique capabilities. But let's be honest, they need us more than we need them. We're driving the evolution of the sport. Training and maintenance. Pilots need a blend of racing skills and robotics expertise. We've streamlined training to ensure pilots master the Cyclone in under 2 weeks. Timeline. Post-Series A, we're scaling production and aiming for full deployment across 3 major racing leagues within 18 months. By year 2, expect Cyclones dominating not just races but entire circuits. Social and ethical implications. Now, onto the heart of the matter, ethics. Because nothing says responsible innovation like making sure your robot doesn't end up in a dystopian documentary. Safety and privacy. Safety first. Every Cyclone is equipped with advanced AI to prevent crashes and ensure pilot protection. It's programmed to prioritize human life via no exceptions, no loopholes. Privacy matters. All onboard data stays encrypted. No, your Cyclone won't spy on your garage snacks or accidentally live stream your pre-race pep talks. Societal impact and social good. Let's not forget, while the Cyclone is a racing marvel, its technology has broader applications. Education and skill building. Partnering with STEM programs, we're inspiring the next generation of engineers and racers. Imagine kids in Madripoor learning robotics while racing. Many Cycloners talk about cool science fairs. Healthcare potential. Adaptive movement tech from the Cyclone is being explored for advanced prosthetics and mobility aids. Racing tech that gives back? That's the kind of legacy we want. Global challenges. In disaster recovery, the Cyclone's versatility could revolutionize rapid response efforts, reaching areas traditional vehicles can't. The vision. So here's the pitch. The VR038 Cyclone isn't just a product, it's a platform. It's not just about winning races, it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible in sports, robotics, and beyond. We've proven it works. We've shown how it changes the game. And now, we're inviting you to join us, not just to invest, but to be part of a revolution. Are you ready to ride the future? The crowd rises to a standing ovation as the Cyclone roars onto the stage, completing a flawless transformation. Page 6. Speech for raising series of funding for Amerigo's VR038 platform. The stage is set with visuals of the VR038 Cyclone in action, sleek, futuristic transformations from motorcycle to Batloid, complemented by data overlays showing real-time performance metrics. The room buzzes with anticipation as the speaker, a confident mix of wit and gravitas, steps up. Speaker: good evening, visionaries, tech enthusiasts, and those secretly wondering if you can expense another night at Madripoor's most exclusive rooftop bar. Spoiler alert, you can, but let's make sure it's because you're toasting to your investment in the Amerigo's VR038 Cyclone. Now, I'm not just here to wow you with tales of a mecha that can go from motorcycle to Batloid faster than you can say transform. I'm here to talk numbers, the key performance indicators, KPIs, that drive our success. Yes, we're diving into data, but don't worry, I'll make it so engaging you might even laugh. Or at least nod appreciatively. KPIs, the pulse of innovation. Why KPIs? Because in a world of high-octane racing tech, flashy gadgets are great, but what gets investors excited is measurable impact. KPIs are the dashboard of our business, telling us what's working, what needs tweaking, and when it's time to hit the gas. Here are the KPIs that define the VR038 Cyclone's race toward market dominance. 1. Net operating income, NOI. Definition: NOI is the revenue left after operating expenses. Think of it as the financial engine's RPM gauge. Here it tells us how efficiently we're running. Our numbers: $3.7 million annually, driven by our streamlined production and high-margin leasing of Cyclones to racing circuits. Why it matters? Investors want to know, are you profitable now? With a NOI like ours, the answer is a confident yes. Fun insight. When you've got a robot that doubles as a motorcycle, operating expenses are surprisingly low. Tires? Recyclable. Energy? Renewable. Maintenance? Virtually self-diagnosing. 2. Occupancy rate. Definition: the percentage of available units or assets currently in use. In our case, it's Cyclones deployed in the racing world. Our numbers: 87% occupancy rate. Why it matters? An occupied Cyclone isn't just making headlines, it's making money. This KPI showcases demand for our product and keeps our revenue streams humming. Anecdote: The 13% not deployed? They're in our R&D lab, prepping for new circuits, terrains, and, yes, off-world racing scenarios. You didn't hear that from me. 3. Debt Service Coverage Ratio, DSCR, definition. This measures our ability to cover debt obligations with operating income. Think of it as a turbo boost for investor confidence. Our numbers, 2.01, well above the 1.25 industry benchmark. Why it matters? It says we're not just paying our bills, we're crushing them. This is the financial equivalent of lapping competitors in the third quarter. 4. Effective gross income, IG, operating expense ratio, OR, definition, IG, total revenue potential minus vacancy losses. OR, how much of that revenue is spent keeping the lights on, and in our case, the servers are on. Our numbers, IG, $6 million. OR, 62%, meaning we keep 38 cents of every dollar for innovation, growth, and maybe a celebratory steak dinner. Why it matters? High efficiency in a cutting-edge tech startup. That's as rare as a cyclone losing a race. 5. Internal rate of return, IRR, definition, measures the profitability of potential investments. Think of it as ROI's more sophisticated cousin. Our numbers, 8.8%. Why it matters? It's not just a good return, it's a great return for investors who believe in tech's ability to outperform traditional markets. 6. Net present value, NPV, definition, the value of future cash flows in today's dollars. It's how we show you that this isn't just a dream, it's a dream that pays. Our numbers, $7.5 million. Why it matters? Every investor wants to know their dollars today are worth exponentially more tomorrow. With an NPV this strong, we're delivering exactly that. 7. Cash on cash return definition, the annual cash return on your initial investment. Think of it as your financial adrenaline rush. Our numbers, 9.5%. Why it matters? Because it's not just about winning races, it's about winning financially, too. Let's recap. NOI tells you we're profitable. Occupancy shows demand. DSCR screams financial stability. IGR and OR prove we're efficient. IRR and NPV highlight long-term growth. And cash on cash? That's the cherry on top. If KPIs were cyclone modes, they'd be both the motorcycle and the battleoid, functional, powerful, and game-changing. Closing, let's make history together. So here's the deal. Investing in the VR038 Cyclone isn't just about funding a racing machine. It's about backing a platform, a movement, and a vision. A vision where technology accelerates not just races but innovation, profitability, and impact. Ladies and gentlemen, the dashboard is clear. The KPIs are green. The future isn't just fast, it's here. Buckle up, and let's ride. The crowd erupts in applause as the VR038 Cyclone zooms onto the stage in full transformation glory, cementing the promise of an unforgettable investment opportunity.